As with every other temporary ceasefire in this bitter conflict so far, the fighting went on to the very last minute. Rockets from Gaza into Israel, countered with airstrikes from the other side, and the misery that both bring to thousands of civilians on the receiving end. In Gaza, the number of people killed is pushing 1,500. In Israel, it's more than 60 now. 5 more Israeli soldiers died overnight, the truce too late to save them, as it has been for dozens of their brothers in arms and hundreds upon hundreds of Palestinians across the border. The outside world had been clamouring for it to stop. Now it has, but only for 3 days.
It is a lull of opportunity, a moment for the sides, the different factions, to be able to come together with the State of Israel in an effort to try to address ways to find a sustainable ceasefire. And then, obviously, ultimately, over a longer period of time, address the underlying issues.
Israel is fixated on what it calls the terror tunnels, fanning out from Gaza into the country, and has put everything into eradicating them, and that will continue as the ceasefire unfolds. The UN says the civilians of Gaza are at breaking point and desperately needed this lull in the fighting.
This ceasefire is critical to giving innocent civilians a much-needed reprieve from violence. During this period, civilians in Gaza will receive urgently needed humanitarian relief and the opportunity to carry out vital functions, including burying the dead, taking care of the injured, and restocking food supplies.
Every previous truce in this conflict, which is now rolling into a second month, has been broken, at least in part, by one side or both. The world will be watching anxiously to see whether this one runs its course intact. David Bowden, Sky News, in Gaza.